What's up, cool kids of the internet? It's your two curly-haired friends, Zachary Jalab and Michael. Sean McCubbin?
No.
What's the middle name?
I'm not going to give away my middle name.
Oh,
though,
fair
'cause
dues.
it's personal information.
Fair dues.
I don't want people
How are
to
you?
down. I'm very well, thanks, mate. I think this might be the first time we've been on screen together since Football Mundial. R.I.P.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, man.
Bless up. If you're a fan of that show, let us know in the comments below. However, this is Hot Takes, where you send in your stupid, idiotic, most silly footballing and sometimes non-footballing hot takes, and we tell you why you're wrong.
Yes.
Let's get on with the show. Our first hot take, Michael McCubbin,
go
comes from at Hemal62, a bunch of numbers, get that sorted out. And they have said, you guys hate on Cristiano Ronaldo for absolutely no reason. Ooh. And we get this a lot.
We do.
We get this a lot in our comment section.
Ronaldo stands, as they call it.
Ronaldo stands, Ronaldo fanboys, used to be Madristas back in the day. However, we are right now.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo is not even in the top 5 best players in the world right now. Mike, take the floor.
Facts. I mean, can't really complain with that, to be honest. Ronaldo, amazing career and whatnot. But to suggest that we're hating on him for no reason is kind of weird, because I mean, does anyone agree that, Ronaldo not winning the Golden Boot in Serie A, coming, was it fourth in the Golden Boot to a 36-year-old Quagliarella last season, does that represent, one of the best players in the world, or like the best player in the world, as some people still seem to think he is? Well, it doesn't, does it? I mean, look at other players who've finished fourth in the Serie A rankings and tell me they're up there with the giants of the game. He's not had a great season this season either, has he? He's kind of struggled a bit with kind of Sarri's system. So yeah, I mean, we're clearly seeing, at the moment at least, a player who's in decline. So right now, there's no argument for Ronaldo being up there.
It's also fair enough as well. I think people forget he's 34 years old, turning 35 in February. I think we are starting to see the end of CR7, and he's performed at still a massive,
21.
However many goals he got last season in the Serie A for a 34-year-old.
Still very good.
Is still very good. However, he is getting older now, whereas someone like Messi is performing out of this world day in, day out. I mean, Ronaldo did come out a couple of days ago to suggest that if he was still at Real Madrid, he would have won the Ballon d'Or in 2018 and 2019. And sure, I mean, that's just a throwaway statement. You can't really tell. I mean, Madrid have also not been so good since he's left as well.
So it's a difficult one. But,
it is.
But I mean, obviously we talk about Messi. Obviously Messi always comes up in the conversation with Ronaldo. It's a bit silly, to be honest, because you can't really compare them anymore. But who are the other players who you would rank above Ronaldo in kind of the world rankings of best
Right
players?
now, I think Lewandowski has to be up there. For me, number one is Messi. It has to
of
be.
Course,
But I think Lewandowski is up there. I think this season more than ever, he's proving that although he is in his 30s, he is ridiculous. He's scoring at a rate which is unheard of recent times, if you weren't Messi or Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I think he is at this point of time. I mean, he could have scored, I think he's
on 27 goals in all competitions now. He's got 10 in the Champions League.
Be on 30 goals in all competitions before the end of the year, before halfway through the season, before they've even had their winter break, which is ridiculous to think of. So that's Lewandowski's got to be up there for me. I think Mbappe is close.
I think Mbappe is above Ronaldo now.
Yeah?
I would say so, yeah.
See, I was worried about saying that.
If you look at, but I mean, if we're going by scoring, because I mean, what Ronaldo, what's made Ronaldo great in recent years has basically just been his scoring record. It's not like what he brings to the team is that much higher than other world-class players, aside from his scoring. And he was basically the best number 9 in the world. That's why Lewandowski's at a higher level than him now, because he is scoring at a ridiculous rate, whereas Ronaldo isn't. And Mbappe is also scoring at a ridiculous rate. Obviously, injuries this season meant that we haven't maybe seen, we haven't seen him go on a crazy scoring spree. But last season, 33 goals in Ligue 1, pretty amazing. And then what he brings to the other elements of what he brings to a team, he's better at than Ronaldo. I mean, partly because he's faster, he's younger, he's everything. He's playing in a better team as well. I would put Mbappe above him.
I think I would agree. I love Mbappe, but I think for him to take the next step in my books, he needs to leave Ligue 1. Is what I would say. Van Dijk had an incredible season. It's different.
It's different.
It's different in terms of their positions.
I'd agree as well.
The Van Dijk effect that we've seen at Liverpool has been amazing and insane, and I mean, say it quietly, but they're probably going to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
And no thanks to him. He's been fantastic. So that's Lewandowski, Mbappe,
But then
Van
even players like Mane and Salah, like there is the argument for it, right? Because they have been better over the last 12 months or so.
Yeah.
Like Mbappe, Salah, even someone like, I mean, maybe not KDB because he has been injured for a while at the start of this year anyway. But like even someone like Aguero is obviously a better number 9 than Ronaldo has been. Like there's all sorts of players. Raheem Sterling. Like there are a lot of players that, like he's no longer above. You can no longer talk about him as someone who's kind of above the crowd. He's very much in that crowd now. And like we said, he's 34 years old. There's no shame in it. I'm not hating on him for it, but it is just a fact that Ronaldo has declined quite a lot in the last 12 months.
Players do decline, and it happens over their careers. It's literally part of being human. I think it's his worst scoring record since 08 when he was at United.
Yeah.
08, 09.
Yeah, true, yeah.
And look, the whole reason they brought Ronaldo in was to win the Champions League, and they've not done that yet. So we'll see. Maybe come the end of this season, if they are lifting that glorious Mickey Mouse Cup, our opinions might change. But for now,
Mickey Mouse Cup.
It's
Mickey
not
Mouse Cup, mate.
No, because it got big ears.
I know, yeah.
So we're heading down to the basement now. However, we're going there.
Oh, wait.
So
right.
We'll meet you there in a second.
Oh, first I've heard of it. Oh, is that?
Oh, nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Great banter. Anyway, my hot take this week, Mikey, is I think Liverpool should sell one of their fantastic 3 the summer. Well, Firmino is now 28, Salah is also 27, and Mane is 27. However, come the summer, they're all going to be another year older. That's not necessarily saying they're not going to be as good. If anything, they might be a little bit better. But I think they should replace one of them with Jadon Sancho, who I do legitimately think they can get in the summer. I know there's been a lot of rumours about Jadon, saying he might move in January, and I kind of feel that's been sorted now with Dortmund, and he's not going to move. However, what I do think is come January, if a big enough offer is put in, Dortmund will slap your hand and take it. Is that the right saying? Definitely not. But they'll take the money. And they can get that money from selling one of those players. I think the issue you have, if you have those 3 and someone like Jadon Sancho needs to be getting a lot of minutes to be progressing in his career, to get him to the very elite, which he kind of is already near now. I think he's had a goal contribution every single game he's played in this year, or at least maybe he scored 2 in one game, but like stats-wise, level on game contributions and games played. And that's something that I think Liverpool, if they want to keep going in this trajectory of being one of the best teams in the Premier League, one of the best teams in Europe, need to do. Now, Firmino is a year older than the other 2. However, Firmino's position is different to the other 2. I mean, I think Salah could probably play it, but that's a bigger risk to take. Right now, Mane is arguably at the top of his game and is kind of outperforming Salah this season. So whether it's Salah or Mane that you want to sell, but you could easily be getting over probably £100 million for them come the summer. It's a big risk, I know, but I just feel if they want to think about the long-term future, Shaqiri and Origi aren't going to be the guys to replace him.
Of course. I mean, but this is the thing, it's a really long-term thing, right? And as a Liverpool fan or somebody who follows Liverpool right now or somebody who works for the club or Klopp or whoever, are you thinking right now about 3-4 years' time, or are you thinking about Premier League dominance over the next 2 years? Because that is a possibility with Liverpool if City don't get their act together over the next 12 months. I think Liverpool, I would say, have got the league wrapped up right now. I do think that, or at least I think they will win it. And next year, are we going to see a big decline from Salah or Mane next year?
No!
I don't necessarily think so. But I'm not saying that's what you're saying, to be fair. But it just depends where their priorities lie. I think Jadon Sancho would be, would fit into that front line so nicely, and arguably will be a better creative outlet than Salah, who obviously hasn't maybe been at the top of his game this season, but at the same time, I think it might be wishful thinking to think you can get 90, 100 million for Salah or Mane next summer. I just don't know who pays that. I really don't know who pays that. Like, before it was probably Real Madrid, but I think Real Madrid now, with Rodrigo, obviously they've already spent a lot of money on Hazard, but with like Rodrigo and Vinicius, They've got players who are already performing at quite a high level for a side which seems to have rejuvenated itself a little bit. I don't think Zidane needs to spend anything more on that attack. He's already spent on that attack. Do Barcelona come in for one of them? I don't think so either, to be honest. I think if they're going to reinvest in that attack, it has to be on younger talent. So I think it's a difficult one. I think if they're going to buy Sancho, they have to buy him. They just have to spend the money, and they have to say to him, well, you are going to be fighting for a place in this, we're going to be rotating this attack more. And Jadon Sancho is still really young as well. I think he's at an age where he can afford to be in a rotation. Obviously, he wants to be playing every game, but it's not essential when you're playing in such a good team. Your development is still going to come.
See, my issue there, though, is that I think if they want to get Jadon Sancho, they need to be giving him those minutes straight away, because otherwise other clubs will. And other clubs will be coming in from him in the summer. And if Liverpool want to get him, they need to give him the ideal position where he's going to be playing every minute of every game that he can possibly play. And they won't be able to do that with someone like Salah, Mane, or Firmino. I think there are other clubs. I mean, Mane apparently is an attractive prospect for PSG, who are looking into him.
Forget about PSG, actually.
and they're millions. But what do you guys think of my hot take? Please let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with Michael saying they could do it anyway, and they should do it anyway? Or do you agree with me saying that they should sell one of their players to bring him in? Let us know in the comments below. This next take comes from Joshy Boy, and they've said, Wilfried Zaha is the most overrated player in Europe. He's just turned 27 and has never hit more than 16 goal contributions a season his entire career in the Premier League. Palace wanting 70 million plus for him last summer was absolutely ridiculous.
I kind of agree with this one, to be honest. I think Wilf Zaha, a very good player, plays incredibly well. Probably one of the best players you could ask for in a system like Crystal Palace's. Yeah. I think Hodgson definitely gets the best out of him in terms of the way they play. And he, at least last season or the season before, he was pretty much running that attack by himself, wasn't he? But I think this season we've kind of seen that maybe he wasn't worth as much as they wanted, because he hasn't actually been as integral to the side. Obviously, he's only started scoring in the last few weeks. Obviously, Jordan Ayew picked up some of the slack towards the start of the season when they weren't doing so well, and they have been, fairly average. But I can't remember the last time under Hodgson really that Palace were anything more than just kind of coasting along. Yeah. Fair play to them, because their squad isn't very good, and Zaha has been very important to them. But I need to see more from Zaha to say that he's 70 million. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think the difference here,
and he's all right about the age as well. 27. Like,
I agree to an extent with this. I think the difference here is, in my head, it's very much like a Sigurdsson move for Swansea. Is he may not be rated 70 million pounds, but he's 70 million pounds to Crystal Palace, and that's the difference, right? Is that okay? He might not be scoring at the rate of, say, someone that is actually rated 70 million pounds, but for Crystal Palace to let go of him, they need at least that amount of money to probably bring in two players, or if they're going to bring in one, a very, very good standard one, I doubt they'd join them at that, to go to Crystal Palace. But they need that money to bring in and kind of produce what he was doing anyway for them, a goal scorer, a creative outlet down the wing, arguably their best, not even arguably, their best player. I do get why they want £70 million, but for a club to pay £70 million is a completely different feat. So at the moment, the number one club is Chelsea, by the looks of it. And it's hard, because if he was, say, 25, 24, £70 million sounds a little bit more interesting. You've still got a couple more years to grow. However, 27 is when you start to reach your prime, when you're starting to perform at your very best. For Chelsea to whack £70 million on a player like that, I think is a waste of money. But especially when all you really need to do is add another 40 million, and you could probably start talking to Dortmund about Sancho and things like that.
And also, I mean, he plays predominantly on the left, doesn't he, Zaha? Yes. Like, I mean, that's pushing Callum Hudson-Odoi out. I think Hudson-Odoi
as well
has a higher ceiling than Zaha, really, and probably suits Chelsea's style of play more. He's got something like the second most chances per game of anyone under the age of like 23 in the Premier League. So,
and even he's getting stick.
He's such an amazing prospect, and obviously, he's way more raw. But I think Zaha, perfect for a counter-attacking side who really need that burst, need that dribbling ability, and need someone who can take a relegation attack to a mid-table attack,
Yeah.
essentially. But can he take a mid-table attack to a Champions League attack? I'm not so sure.
I think that's a very good point.
In terms of the way that the top teams play in the Premier League, I think that's me done on the issue.
I think the only final thing I would possibly say is that maybe in a world where, say, Jadon Sancho wasn't there, or say, like Jadon Sancho says he doesn't want to join Chelsea or wants to join Liverpool, whoever it is, that you can look at Zaha and go, let's have a punt on him, sure. But I feel like the price tag is the big thing here. Even if they were to drop down to, say, 50 million, it's a lot more acceptable in my head for someone like Wilfried Zaha than 70 mil. Nearly £100 million for someone like Wilfried Zaha is ridiculous, especially if Chelsea are kind of now in the mind frame or mindset that, okay, we need to now buy the big players to get us back into title contenders. Wilfried Zaha isn't that guy. So I think we agree with you, mate.
Yeah, well done.
So that's the end of this week's hot takes. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you want to submit your hot takes, hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah, they should go and check out all the other wonderful content on Football Daily. If you haven't checked out our new series Journeyman, go and check that out. There are 2 episodes of that, Notts County and Forest Green Rovers. Go and check them out. And also, if you are in the UK, there is still time for you to go out and exercise your democratic right to vote. So go and do that. Go to your local polling station and do some democracy. Not going to tell you who to vote. Just
Democracy.
Yeah, democracy.
And subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you later. Bye.